Hey everybody, and welcome to another day crypto talk. We're going to have some fun here. We're going to talk obviously about Bitcoin, the stock market, Pulsechain. We're going to get into all those numbers. Mafia, of course, we're going to be showcasing that today, and of course, getting into the latest of the metaverse and the map getting sold out. So we can get into that. Big shout out to all, of course, all the directorate members. Of course, I'm a member of that family. And of course, we're going to also have a quick look at X28 Ominchain and the Shogun in Titan X ecosystem, which has got green candles the last couple of days. So that's pretty cool. Let's see where we are. We've got DJ and Hexagon in the house there. Big love to Superman. I appreciate that, DJ. Big shout out to you. And Crypto Furia in the house. Hey, good to see it. Was it? Directorate Familia. Yes, absolutely. Looking good there. And a big shout out to Furia. Is a great player and community member. Big shout out. We've got Diamond Hand in the house there, up and to the right. Yeah, enjoying the green candles, that's for sure. We got Archie in the house there. Hi, all. The Don of Dons in the house there. Making fear real is the old Archie and his family. It's pretty awesome. You know, it's kind of cool. All right, let's get into it. Let's not muck around. Let's kick it off. We got the stock market open right after the holiday period, New Year's and all that. So let's see what that's looked like at the moment. So we got US stocks close higher. So it's a good green start to the year, right? The new year, 2025, baby. The bull market. Let's bring it on. And of course, let's have a look here. So we got the Dow Jones up 0.8% there, 340 points. It's a pretty good day in the office at the 42,731. Let's have a look at the max chart there just to see where that's at. And we can see we're off the highs there, but we're still very, very high indeed. So it's looking good. The S&P 500 is up 1.25%, 74 points. The 5,946, and we can see that we're pretty close, just off the highs there. And the Nasdaq at the moment up 1.75%, 338 points to 19,619. So the stock market is nice and green, nice and strong, open for 2025. And of course, we all know that we're ticking away there to the Trump inauguration, but the Democrats haven't finished with their tricks yet, have they? They're going to leave lots of little minefields for that and other things. So that's where we are at the moment. US dollar is at 108.78, just down slightly, 0.4%. Pretty strong, though. Pretty strong US dollar there. Commodities, we got West Texas there is at $74. That's up 1%. And Brent oil there is $76.63, up almost 1% as well. Gold at $2,654, down 0.5%. Silver is at $30, and it's up 0.5%. There's a silver holding on there. We didn't get our big silver rally yet, but maybe 2025 that might occur. We were targeting $75 to $125, but we haven't had that exchange rate pivot, right? Because I think the Trump expectation, the Trump economics is more brighter than the interest rate cuts. So that's probably where we're heading now. Let's jump over to the next meeting for the Federal Reserve. That's when we're expecting the next rate review. That's in 3 weeks and 4 days and 19 hours on the 29th of January, but the market is expecting a no change, so still at 4.5%. So we got 1 percentage point last year decrease from 5.5 down to 4.5. We got most of the market there, 90% expecting a no change in January. Let's see what March is holding. Well, it's a lot better in March because we got 44% of the market expecting a pivot of 25 basis points downwards to 4.25. But half the market's still expecting no change. So we'll see where we land with more data, inflation data coming out there. All right, let's jump over to crypto. So stock market's green, crypto is green. I know there was quite a few people out there thinking we're going to get a real serious pullback, but I just saw it as a bear trap on the way to glory. We've got the perfect lineup for crypto. So if you got the perfect lineup, yeah, sure, you can have dips and tricks from the big boys on the way. But I just feel like it's game on, right? I think the stars are aligned. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. Now we got Bitcoin at 98,300, up 1.4%. We got Ethereum at 3,600, making a big move, up 5% today. Obviously, talk of altcoin season. Well, it does look like we're at the doorstep of altcoin season. So let's see what we can pull out in January. And what is probably the key catalyst? Well, Trump inauguration, right? That's got to be the key catalyst. And so people running up on that. So we shall see. Some people have a pre-post view. I kind of feel like we got I'm part of both. I think we're both look pretty good to me. Now we did have obviously New York court case. The Trump was, I think his name was Mitchin or something like that. trying to pull in Trump for even though the Supreme Court has sort of given presidential immunity, trying to get in and do that. He's ignored that and rejected that and wants to do some sort of non-prison sentencing coming up. So all Democrats still doing the shenanigans to give him some issues. But of course, he will be able to appeal such a sentence. So there's a lot of jockeying going on there. So we'll see. Some of the Democrats are trying to get no sentence so that they can, avoid him getting an appeal and all sort of stuff to high court. So there's lots of game going on before the presidency. I think that's the 10th. So it's like 10 days before the inauguration. Games are afoot there. Don't you worry. Games will be continually afoot, and some of them are so bad. Maybe some of these issues we've had recently in the United States, the CIA for the Democrats is doing a lot of that stuff. So got some bizarre things happening in the new year, right? So some crazy stuff happening. But meanwhile, crypto is still bullish, and we got up 1.1% there for BNB at $714. Solana up 5% at $217 there. ADA is up a whopping 14%. So Hodgkinson must be doing something good out there. I know we got that working Dow, right? Working down there. $1.10, sorry, is ADA. Litecoin up 7.7%. A little bit of altcoin season flavor in it, doesn't it, in some of these prices? So that's going pretty good there. And XRP up 2% at $2.45. Bitcoin dominance at 54%, so it's dropping. That's when we want to see altcoin season. But unlike 2021, we had Bitcoin at dominance got just below 70%, and then started falling down as altcoin season began. We didn't even get that high this time. So I don't know. It's just not the same. We got millions of cryptos now. We only had maybe tens of thousands back then. So of significance. We got all these new. Everyone can make back then. Mostly only software people could do. The software Solidity could do stuff, but now these days there's software you can do. Every single Joe Blog out there can make their own coin, and if you good at networking, you can shill anything, right? So there's lots of differences happening here this time around. All right, so the other thing I'd say, last Bitcoin season in 2021, a lot of the technology that was really advancing, like bridges and stuff, was still pretty shady. Whereas now it's pretty secure. Although bridges are still one of the last miles to get done really well with keys and things like that. But the technology works very smoothly, and so yeah, it's game on. So really, innovation is a key theme here moving forward. And we've seen these things like AI agents, stuff like that. I mean, some of them are not real, right? Some of them are not really AI related. Not really responding AI. Some of them, maybe a few of them will be AI orientated, with actually have AI operating, trying to, get you, better deals or take over other cryptos and things like that. So there's all sorts of stuff out there in terms of themes. So don't fall too much for the hype. Pick off some good deals, do your due diligence, all that good stuff, and you'll be out there winning, I'm sure. Right, so let's look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin at the moment, this is on the daily. We are above the 50 moving average. That's the yellow line there, looking very good. It's at $93,600 is where the 50, and we're above that at 98,227. I said this was a bear trap, and so far it's looking like that. So far so good for Superman, and we've also hit our zone, right, 900K, and we got past that to 108K. So we're doing very well. You guys can go back on the videos and see the projection, and it's been a fantastic. So there we go. All right, so that's where we're heading at the moment. Where do I think we're heading? Well, this is based on a Bitcoin cycle is 830, 870 days. This is the end of it here into the beginning of April, and I've got 150 to 180K target there. We've got Trump inauguration coming up on the 20th. I really do feel like that's a powerful catalyst, and so we had a very green beginning of last year, 2024. Can you believe it? Last year, 2024, we just came out of it, we're going to say. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. So we've got 17 days till Trump inauguration, and we've probably got something like 92 days, 3 months to get to this 150, 180K target. So let's see how we get on there. And possibly, I'm very bullish about 2025. And so, that 240K mark by the end of the year, definitely very doable. That's the Richard Hart number as well. But hey, look, with the Trump presidency, if he can clean up all the world and all that sort of stuff, especially the United States, and he can deal with all the, the deep state and everything else. I mean, there's lots on the table to deal with, let's be frank. Those bad people have been up to mischief for the last 4 years or plus. So it's going to be a lot of work, but he's the man to do it. He's got very smart people around him. It is a funny alliance between conservatives and moderate liberals. So they would have been far apart in the time, but moderate liberals have been left in the dust by progressives and globalists, right? So there we go. Although I must say some of those moderate liberals are globalists. So just nicer ones, So that's kind of where we are at the moment on the old Bitcoin and 98,000. Let's see where we head soon. And of course, we're expecting some very bullish moves in the months ahead here, January, February, and March. Let's go over to the returns so far. For December, we ended up with negative 2.85. With January, we're already started green, baby. Green, 5%. You got to love that, right? So at 5% for Bitcoin monthly returns, looking very good. And as I said, 2024, 2023, January, February, and March were all green. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. So look forward to that. I'm very excited. And we got the perfect lineup. Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, sovereign states, strategic Bitcoin funds, potentially, new SEC, get rid of all the lawfare, probably going to get dumped. A lot of the cases that they got at the moment probably all be dumped. And there's a long list of them, right? All those letters that have been sent out to people, dump, pity dump. So looking very positive there. Let's jump over to the Bitcoin ETFs. We can see obviously that generally the last week or so, we've had a lot of sell-offs here in the ETFs on Bitcoin. You can see the red candles there. That's funds going out. But we're going to have, this is going to come back. So we're going to get some more of this green stuff here. You can kind of see it teasing in the chart as the price chart there in yellow goes up and to the right. So nice little ebbs and flows, healthy for the market there. All right, Ethereum at the moment having a great time over the 50-day. Woohoo! Over the 50-day, we did it. It's real. So $3,422, and we've that's the mark on the yellow. That's the yellow line. We're now at 3,609. So nice little recovery last couple of days, and very bullish to spur on that altcoin season everyone's so desperate for. And people DMing me, when altcoin season, sir? When altcoin season? I said, well, but it's been patient. If you watch my videos, you would have heard, but they don't watch the videos. They just try to DM me. How about that? Come on, watch the videos. I have to repeat myself. Here we are. So $3,600, looking very good. We got this golden cross back here on the 21st of November, playing out very nicely, testing it here with this consolidation around the 21. We're now above it again and looking very good. We closed above it yesterday, so this is a very bullish sign, and we're about to have a second day in a row to close. Let's see what the third day comes on. So yeah, we still haven't hit all-time high from the last Bitcoin market in 21, 4,900. We got to 4,100 twice pretty much. So we've got a lot of upside there. And of course, people have got big targets. If we get 150, 180K, $250,000 of Bitcoin, then what's the target for Ethereum? 10,000 to 25,000, somewhere in there. Definitely doable on that mark. So there we go. And what would that mean for altcoins? Well, up and away. Mad gains for everybody. And let's see where we go there. So we're going to jump over to Pulsechain. Before we do that, though, let's catch up on the chat and see if anyone else has jumped in here. Who else is here? We've got Wookie. Wookie's arrived. I hope you had a good day playing golf there, Wookie. Up early for that. We got Yes Cap in the house there. Here to learn about Omni for the Pulsechain connections only. What's that? Omni? I'm not sure what that's about. Yes Cap. We got here. We got Fast Abdul in the house there. I'm here for the tech. That's what he says. But I'm sure it's the bribes. Fergal's in the house there. Greetings from Kerry. Good to see you, Fergo. Roll on the bull market, indeed. Roll on a bull market. Hexavator says, hey, gang, good to see Hexavator building out infrastructure in the United States. Big shout out to you. Always do appreciate that sort of work. Brian's in the house there, our community leader. Sup, folks? Hey, Brian, rocking the DMV as always. Rocking the DMV. And, of course, I love that Hex token membership there, looking proud, just like Fast Abdul, actually. Fast Abdul got one of those too. Look at that. Pretty cool. All right, and we got Eli Brown house there. Sup, good to see you. Hey, look, we got three things on this channel. One is we're a family channel, so we try to keep the language toned, even language that has inferences. So yeah, just to remember that family channel, freedom channel, and what's the last one we do? No drama channel. That's it. No drama. Those are our three principles. So there's plenty of other YouTube channels that do that stuff. So we try to keep it family friendly. All right, we got down there. Oh, whoa. Brian in with the membership, 35 months. So Brian's in the top 4 members of the channel for the longest there. And woohoo! A big shout out to you, Brian. Thanks for your support. 35 months. But more importantly, he's one of our 2 community leaders and does amazing job as community leader. So big shout out for that, Brian. Happy America. Happy America. You rock bosses, Brian. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate that. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to get a Pulsechain, shall we? We've got Archie in there as well. Congrats, Brian. Absolutely. Archie's been made the 2nd community leader and does a great job for Mafia and everything else. So big shout out to Archie there as well. And I like your shield there, your US shield on your profile. That's pretty badass, actually, to be honest. All right, so let's jump into Pulsechain results. We're going to lead into Mafia, of course, coming Mafia game. We've covered over 600 days on Pulsechain, you believe it? Over 600 days. 602 is where we're at the moment. And, of course, we got the price there, quadruple 497, up 1% today at 50% of the mean sacrifice price. Super, super cheap to get in. Pulsechain looking very friendly to get in there. Now, we do have the court case. We're probably expecting a judgment from the judge in January. And, of course, we do have a potential insurance policy as well from the incoming Trump and, of course, the new SEC leadership. They're very likely to dump a lot of the lawfare cases. And that would probably include, I think, the weakest one, which is the one against Richard Art. It's pretty damn weak. So let's see where we end up there. I'm still expecting a 75% chance of most of the issues. I think there were 5 issues that were in the claimant for the SEC. So expecting at least all of them to get dismissed probably, but maybe they might hold on to one. We'll see how that goes. We've got PulseX at the moment, quadruple 309, down 0.5%, and we've got the buy and burn sitting at 1,179 billion. I think that's the latest. It's at 5.9%. So the 5.9% of the public supply of PulseX is now bought up and burned. PulseX returns on the farms have been amazing. I haven't talked about those for some time. I used to talk about them regularly. I'll try and bring that back in, actually. Looking very, very good there. Incentive token, $1.76, down 0.75%. The ratio is at 35,500, so that's really has fallen down a bit there. Was usually up around 38 to 40, so it's definitely fallen down a little bit there. 52 million tokens in existence, and of course Hex there sitting at 1.5 cents on Pulsechain, down just over 0.5% as well. And we got eHex at 27/100 of a penny. That's combined price of PHEX and eHex is at 1.67 cents there. So recently it was over 3 cents, wasn't it? 3.5 combined. So it's definitely fallen off from there. But what does that mean? Just a good area to pick up and accumulate some of that beautiful sweet Hex that you guys know. Even though it's been around for one bull market, is going to do some pretty special things on Pulsechain. And of course, if you remember Richard Art's Christmas video, it's very bullish. Some of the words he was saying about the time has come. It's going to be pretty exciting for Pulsechain. You don't want to miss the train, as it were, because it's all going to happen very suddenly, right? Bam, bam, bam. Now, when exactly in the year? Could happen very soon. Could happen at different times. It doesn't necessarily have to move exactly with the market, just like it did in 2021. So let's see where we go there. It's going to be pretty awesome. 13 parabolics? Let's do it. Let's do it again. 13 parabolics up to several dollars. Let's do that. Let's do that. All in favor. We got Magic Carpet Ride, right? Magic Carpet Ride. Let's have a quick look at Magic Carpet Ride, actually, and see where that's at. So that's all the Ethereum, 171,000 ETH. It is down 4.3% against Ethereum at the moment, but Ethereum is recovering. So we're down $28.2 million. Still worth 670 million on the old Magic Carpet Ride. And of course, that is one of the a couple of narratives there. We've obviously got the PDI maker narrative as well. That is also out there. Now, gas prices pretty cheap on Pulsechain, 0.7 of a penny for Pulsex swap, 1,500 times cheaper than Ethereum. Ethereum's at 8 Gwei at the moment. So super cheap to do business on Pulsechain. We've got 44,500 validators on Pulsechain at the moment. And the bridge, $128 million there pretty much. Is on the bridge there. So that will be going up a little bit in value because of ETH and Bitcoin going up. But of course, eHex holding it down, and the stable coins probably holding it down a little bit there at the moment. That is where we are. Let's jump over to the overall markets, $23 million. So yeah, the volume has definitely dropped off on Pulsechain at the moment. We were getting up to 40 to 80 million. So we definitely dropped off there for the time being, but still pretty decent, 23 million. Remember when we were down at the lows, we were down at like 5-6 million. So we're still a lot better than that. By trending over the last 6 hours, We've got a couple of movements here. So we've still got this Rick Most Wanted token up 50%. That's been around for 12 days. That's Richard Hart Most Wanted there from the Interpol. That nonsense. I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing. You've seen that red notice. The corruption in the law enforcement is just unbelievable. The weaponization of law enforcement in the world is just horrendous. The globalists and the Democrat type of people, they are using that, right? So progressives and globalists, just wicked people doing wicked things. We've got 9mm at the moment, up 15.5%. So good to see one of the big utilities on Pulsechain. Now, 9mm is the third biggest DEX, decentralized exchange on Pulsechain. That's up 15%, so that's good to see. Let's actually zoom in on that and see how that's going versus everything else. So that is where the chart is at the moment. So making a pretty strong recovery is 9M. Now look at that. We're down at 4400th of a penny. We're now at 4.8 cents. So very nice recovery there. That is pretty impressive. So not too bad there with 9mm. So imagine recovery there. Now they did have some drama, I thought. So thought there was some drama about that. Now let's have a look at their volume. At the moment, they've got 638K of volume, so still quite low on the volume. 9-inch, for example, is sitting at 647, just above that. And of course, Pulsex is carrying most of the weight, right? 21.6 million. So the old Richard Hart there crushing it. Let's see what else is going there. We've got Pika up 13% there, Staked ETH. So if you're thinking about these P Maker and top PRC20 tokens, well, Staked ETH is one of those. And this is ticking away there, up 11%. PDC, the Grace, man, one of the very best protocols on Pulsechain, and that is up 10% today, doing very well indeed. 0003500. What else we got going there? Diehard, which earns PDI, right? That is up 8% there. So we've got some nice little movements there at the moment. I'll give some honorable mention here to Diamond, hex.com Diamond, up 7% there as well. So not bad there. All right, so that is pretty much that. Let's jump over into we've got my watch list for Mafia. Let's get Mafia up there. Now, Mafia having a bit of retrace here on Pulsechain. So let's pull that out. At the moment, this is the Pulsechain Mafia chart. And we've got a pullback here the last 4 hours. I guess there's a little sentiments gone a little negative on Pulsechain at the moment. We've got 1.6 cents down to 1.2. So that's quite a pullback percentage terms. So really good opportunity to get on that. Remember, there's a 4.7% buy tax and a 16.6% sell tax. So you need a 5 and 20% slippage respectively just to cover that. But what an opportunity to get in on Mafia at these prices, OMG. So it's going to be fun to see that play out. Let's have a look at the full chart. That's the full chart of Mafia on Pulsechain. And of course, the Mafia map only got put out about a week ago. So that's ticking away. We're going to talk about that. So that's Mafia at the moment. Very cool. I'll post that chart in the chat there if you want to check it out. The Mafia on Pulsechain. And bam, that is that. Who else we got jumped in the chat there? We got a few others. We got Magnus announced that. Hey folks, good to see you, Magnus. Ben Miller as well. Good evening, Superman and Directorate family. Big shout out, Ben. The Directorate family for the win, 100%. Making fear real, right? Making fear real. So that is the link to the Mafia Pulsechain. Good one to pick up there as well. Now you can either play the game or speculate. It's up to you. That is pretty much it. Now, we've also got B&B Mafia, so we're going to quickly talk about that. That's even better value. I mean, it's so discounted at the moment over here. It's crazy. That is the chart. That also got sold off the last 2 days. Was at 0004, now 00032. So very picking up 1 million Mafia over there. Remember, there's only 1 billion in supply. So picking up 1 million over there, super cheap at the moment. What's that, $325 probably to pick up 1 million? Man, super cheap, super cheap. All right, so that is B&B Mafia right there as well. So a good one to pick up that one. All right, so let's jump over to the results at the moment. So on Pulse Mafia, we've got 1,084 players. We've got 25 crime families. We've got 6.97 billion Pulse. That's 1 billion Pulse there. Now, I put a post out on X yesterday about how this is basically if you were the number 200 sacrifices for Pulsechain, this is what you would have got, right? This is what it would be worth at the moment. Which was about $334,000 yesterday when I did my post on X. Now, in terms of tiles, the tiles are going very quickly on Pulsechain. There is only 1,138 available land tiles left. So that's been super hyper successful. I mean, really, that is crazy successful in about a week. That's really great. So this is the first metaverse on Pulsechain, of course. So let's quickly go to look at the map. And we can see that the maps have been selling out. So, in terms of New York, there's 717 tiles or buildings, 0 left to buy. You have to buy them on the secondary market. You cannot buy them on the primary sale. So that's it. And you've got all these other ones sold out. Gifford Ware's bought out Las Vegas. Yakuza's bought out Napoli. Gearhead's bought out Medellin and Miami. Yakuza bought out Chicago. Salamanca's bought out Bogota. That's the dominant family in those areas. So there are other families who own tiles. Palermo dominated by the Mucknows Reloaded. Detroit dominated by the Gearheads there. Caracas is still there, 624 tiles, and that is dominating by the Yakuza at the moment. And Messina there by the Gearheads there, 496 tiles. So the Gearheads making a big land grab. Detroit had quite a few left last night, so that's been bought out by the Gearheads overnight. So that's probably the biggest action is overnight is the Gearheads in Detroit doing a big land grab. Now, all the families have got different strategies. Some of them are going to play out better than others. So you'll see what that all means later on as the game ramps up towards launch. So this is a pre-launch phase is the map. It's the first metaverse on Pulsechain, and it's high drama, right? High drama. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So Gearheads is one of the families. Let's quickly check where those are located at the moment. So we've still got Yakuza at the moment, number 1. Now, I suspect these values are going to move around quite a bit as the worth changes. We've got Gearheads at number 2, the Salamancas at number 3, the Hustlers at number 4, and the Syndicate at number 5 here. But they've not got the paid spots in the Vault Access yet. And that's still to play out, right? So Vault Access is what it's all about. And that's still to play out. So you keep an eye out on that. That's probably not going to stay like this as we move into the future. Because of development, people have to do development and other things in the game. And that's where I'm going to leave that comment. Now, we'll be on Cult DeFi show representing the directorate coming up in a couple of days. So look forward to that. It's going to be fun. And yeah, we've got lots of other families in the house, of course, in the mix there. Now, we only have 2 allegiances, the directorate, which has got the Yakuza, the Hustlers, and the Syndicate, and the Gears of War, which got the Gearheads, the Salamancas, the Deadites, and the Mugnows there. So those are the allegiances or alliances, depending on how you want to talk about it. That is it at the moment. All right, so that is highlight there. Let's jump in and have a look at some of the development in some of these maps. Let's go to Las Vegas. Let's go to Gearheads here and have a look at this one. This is the city of. Let me just sign on there. This is Las Vegas. So Las Vegas, of course, very popular, right? Las Vegas. We can see there's a little bit of development in the middle here. What do we got here? We got. Oh, not sure. Oh, what that? Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's jump out of there. I really didn't want to do that one there. So that was an accident of clicking there. I can't even talk properly at the moment. We got Mr. Scotty says BNB Mafia FTW. The Syndicate looking good there, Scotty. I will have a quick look at that. Cryptoland says win Ulti. Yeah. P Ulti, I don't know about that, but it's not doing too well, is it? A bit of a rug on that one, I thought, Cryptoland. Yeah. We've got to be very careful with some of these ROI protocols, and that is Ulti there. So yeah, I did have a look at it, but deemed it too risky to talk about. So yeah, and the tokenomics are a bit weird. If you ask me. So anyway, that is that. We got what do we got here? Gearhead's got a large hotel there. What else we got over here? We got a hospital over here. That's one of the businesses, right? So they got all the businesses. We can quickly see all the businesses, right? We can just go business objects and we can highlight them all so we know where they all are. And do they own them all? Does Gearhead own them all? Well, they own the hospital. They own the gun store over there. They own the car crushers. They own the narcotics. Oh no, they don't. Yakuza, that's our family, owns the narcotics. So that will be interesting. They own the bullet factory. They own the tech. Oh, no, they don't own the tech. Trump family does. I'm not sure. I don't think they're an alliance. Gearheads own the booze warehouse. Yakuza own the roulette. So that's one of the top buildings there. And who owns this one up the top here? The Salamancas. So there's quite a bit of varied. The Salamancas are in their alliance, but there's quite a bit of varied there. Now, look what's happening. This is the Las Vegas Strip. And, of course, who owns it all? The Gearheads there. Gifford Ware, the Don of the family. He's managed to buy out lots of this land here. Look at this. And he's building it out just like the real world. He's building out the Strip there. And what's he got here? We've got apartment blocks. He's got office buildings. So he's really building quite big there. A lot of villas. He manages to got a mansion over here. So he's doing quite a bit of development. But look what's over here. Look what's over here. he owns them all, except he doesn't own this one. The Syndicate owns this one on the strip, the Wookiee the Blade. And, of course, I don't know if they're familiar with who Wookiee is. No, Wookiee is head of our kill squad. So it's not necessarily looking good for them if they think they're going to take on Wookiee the Blade. He is the capo head of our kill squad. And, man, it's he's pretty dangerous in this game. A master gamer. So, yeah, they're going to have their hands full there. So, congratulations. The only one there is the worst person possibly in the game happens to own one tile right there on the strip. So that's going to be a bit of fun when the game gets going. So there we go. That is pretty cool. Now, that's in the elite zone as well. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that. Man, I feel sorry for them that they just happened to get the wrong player landing a tile in their strip there. The Wookiee is on the strip. There's Wookiee himself, the Cinder Capo. He's the head of our kill squad. And, man, he is a master gamer. They're going to have trouble there for sure. What else there? Archie says Wookiee's vacant lot on the Vegas Strip is hilarious here. So they're going to be getting some comeuppance from that. That's where the bodies are buried, says Archie. That's where the bodies are buried. You heard it there. That's hilarious. All right, so let's get on to it. That is the Las Vegas. Let's go have a look at some of the other maps as well. So we can see that Las Vegas at the moment, Gearhead's concentrated their development around the strip. Let's have a look at some of the other families. I don't want to just look at Yakuzas. Let's have a look at the Salamancas. We're going to go to Bogata here, have a look at the Salamancas here, another family, and see what they have been doing. And they're dominating this map. There are other families in the map, as we just pointed out, but they are dominating this one. Well, we've got a bit of mixed buildings going on here. Not overly highly developed yet, but we do have some apartment blocks. So we've got some apartment blocks. Now, remember that in each area, there are 3 different areas, right? There's 4 really with the strategic, but really there's 3 development areas that have different images. So in the green here, this is the upper area, so upper class. In the elite area here, you got this is the elite area here, and you can see they'll have different buildings. So if you got an apartment, they'll have a different looking apartment. If you got a villa, there'll be different looking villas, etc. So just you can have a look at the artwork there. So this here, for example, is an apartment block. And let's have a look at that. So that's an apartment block in the elite, and that is a office building. And so you can see the differences there. That is a villa, but they'll be different when you go over to here. So this, zooming around a bit much here. This is a, let me zoom out of that a bit. That is an apartment block, whereas that is an apartment block. So they're very different from each other in different areas. So some little clues there. Now, they've got a very, very dispersed building. There's not an overly amount of building going on here, but they do definitely have some buildings going up around the place, but not overly a lot. There's a few apartment blocks, a few offices being built, and a few villas there. So that is the Salamancas. Let's have a look at the Mugnaus and Palamo there. So a quick look at those guys. And see how they're getting on, because there's 2 phases, there's 3 phases, but I'm going to talk about the 2 ones. You got to buy land. First of all, you need to get land. You need to then develop the land, right? Developing lands takes quite a bit of resource. You need in-game currency. You need a key if you're going to upgrade from a villa to an office building, and you also need Mafia to activate. So that's the 3rd step. Sorry, you have to get the land, you have to develop the land, and then you have to activate it if you get up to a point where you got an office level or above. If you want to earn the in-game cash, you need to stake your Mafia there, right? So those are the 3 phases at the moment. There is a 4th phase as well, but I'm not going to talk about that on the chat at the moment. So here is Palamo. Really beautiful map, actually, isn't it? Look at that map. That's a really beautiful city. I think we might have to take this city over. It looks so good. It looks so good here. All right, so that is pretty good. Let's have a look at some of the buildings here to see what's building out here. So we're going to have a look at villas. How many villas are around? You can see the villas. So there are a few villas spilled around. They've highlighted those in pink. And this is the elite area, right? This is the elite area. This is the upper area, and this is the common area, right? That sort of deserty type look. That is the common area. It's quite large, the common area, way bigger than the upper and the elite. Now, obviously, elite's probably going to be most valuable in time for trading and other things like that, because it's a lot more expensive and a lot more elite and exclusive there. You got different buildings, etc. So it's going to be interesting. Pretty nice looking map, though, as you can see. I actually really like this map. It's very nice. Let's have a quick look at villas. We've got apartments. How many apartments they got going? Not too many apartments, only a couple. So like the Salamanca's, not a lot of development going on here at the moment. A lot of land grab. They got the land. Looks like they did pretty well with that. In fact, how much land did they actually get? Let's go have a look here. What's this? Is the Mugnaus? I think I can't remember now. I think it's the Mugnaus reloaded. So they got most of the land. You can see that. See, I've highlighted. They got most of the land here, but not all the land, right? So let's have a look here. The Gearheads got any land in here? The Gearheads got a little bit of land. Got a little bit of land. I think they are in the alliance together. Let's see if we got Yakuza. Oh, Yakuza's got a few things here and a couple of businesses. So Yakuza's are here. They're in here. They can't keep us out of the place there. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's go for the building types here. Mansions. We've got some mansions. Yeah, we've got some mansions around. So there are a couple of mansions. Look at the mansions in the elite upper area and the elite area. We've got some mansions there. Got one over here in the commons. Not too much. Let's have a look what else we got there. We got offices. Offices there. 1, 2, 3, 4. They got a couple. Actually got a few more there. Got about half a dozen. Still pretty underdeveloped, if you ask me. So we'll see where it goes. And hotels. Hotels are the top of the line, right? So we've got a few hotels. So they're actually doing not too bad with the hotels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hotels. That's not too bad to get started. Now, they're obviously the most expensive to develop. There is normally one given away on the map that people can win. So that is where they're at the moment. So kind of cool. Looking at the businesses, let's have a look here. The businesses over around. Let's see who owns them. We got the Frogs and Yakuza. So we got Yakuza owning one of these. Gearheads owning one. Gearheads there. What else do we got? Gearheads, Yakuza, Hustlers. So yeah, the Directorate Alliance own quite a few businesses in the city. Interesting enough. So the Gearheads as well. So the Gearheads and the Directorate owning a lot of businesses in here. And I don't see any owned by the Mugnaus. How interesting is that? That is crazy. That's in Palamo. There's some crazy happenings happening there. So yeah, Palamo dominate the map. You saw that, but they own. I couldn't see them owning any of the business. Maybe one at best. It looks like the two big families, allegiances, the Gearheads and the Directorate, own all the businesses. So that's going to be interesting outcome there in the game. I'm sure we'll all agree there. Now this is the last map to go, right? The Gearheads in Detroit. That just went overnight. So let's have a look at see what that looks like from a strategic point of view. We've got a few more comments in the chat, have we? Let's see. We got Wookie needs a gun store, says Hexvalley. Yeah, good one, mate. Good one. He does it. He has access to one. He has access to one. Wookie has a lightsaber, says Archie. That's true. That's true. Nice. Yeah. That's all you're going to have, Wookie. That's all you need. All right, so there we go. We got to have a look here and have a look at, this is the, what do we say, the Gearheads. So they do control a lot of the map in the city. So they've been buying. And there actually is not an overly amount of development, but, there's a decent amount of development going on here. Let's see if any of the other families has much. The Salamancas, they don't seem to have much of anything in the city. In fact, they don't look like they've got anything in the city. What was the other fan? The Mugnaus reloaded. They don't seem to have anything either. Let's see whether the Yakuza has something. 1 or 2 plots, not much. They have one of the buildings though, a roulette building, one of the top buildings. What else there? Hustlers. You've got one there. So there's a couple of dribs and drabs there. Not much. So very much dominated the city of Detroit by the Gearheads there. Big land grab on that one. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's have a quick look at one of the directorates. Our family, of course. Let's save the best for last. That's what we do, save the best for last. And let's have a look here. We're going to have a look at New York, the city of dreams. This is obviously the city where Trump Tower and all that sort of stuff. This is crazy. And apparently exploding Tesla trucks. That is pretty much it. So look at this beautiful city. Wow, look at that. Look at the development in the city. Unlike any of the other cities. Maybe with the exception of the Strip in Las Vegas, we are seeing a construction boom here in New York, the city of dreams, just like New York, with all those tall skyscrapers. We are seeing some pretty impressive development here. So some very, very cool stuff happening here. Let us get excited about that. Let's do it. All right, so that is where we are at the moment. So you can see lots of development happening, even in the commons. Lots of developments, even in the commons. So some interesting things there. Obviously, there's the elite. Let's have a look through some of these zones. We got the common zone. So that's highlighted in white. So you can see there's the north and the south. So the north, the south there. And we've got the north there as well. So pretty cool. Let's have a look at the upper area there. So the upper there, I love the upper, nice and green and lush. You got rivers and forests. It's pretty cool. And of course, some nice lifestyle there. I know a few people that live in that part of town, and they're pretty nice people. Well, except for one of them. One of them's a little bit difficult to deal with, but we won't get into that drama because we're no drama channel. Let's go to the elite. Now, the elite's looking hot. Look at that. Elite's looking fantastic. That is a beautiful place to live. And, of course, going to be in big demand, right? Big demand. So that's pretty cool. Now, we've got lots of development. I love this beachfront here. Look at that beachfront there. Woohoo! Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And look, we've got the Capone, the Don of Dons, Archie himself. He's got a hotel right on the front there, along with a whole ton of hotels. This is pretty much the expensive area in town. Even got a bank sitting in behind. I mean, these are high rollers. These are high rollers in the elite part of town in New York, the city of dreams, which is pretty cool. Let's go zoom in on that stuff. That is pretty cool. So this is where all the action is. These guys live in the dream here. And yeah, pretty cool. So lots of stuff happening all over the map. It's very, very cool. So we're going to enjoy that. There we go. All right, let's jump over to one more. Let's have a look at Napoli. Let's have a look at Napoli. Another directorate map. And let's have a look at this. It's going to be fun. City of Dreams, Napoli. All right, so very different map. I love this. This is the upper area. We can highlight these with the filters. The filters are very useful. So we've got the filter. Oh, that actually extends all the way to the back there. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. Beautiful harbor here. Beautiful, living the dream there. Was it water ducks or whatever they call them? What else did we got? The elite area. Elite area, very exclusive on this one. This map. Look at that. Very exclusive. And that's going to be pretty expensive land. And then the commons, right? The commons there. Look at that. Commons everywhere else. And not too bad there. Not too bad. So let's have a look at all. You can see that actually New York had tons of development. There's a lot of development going here, but not at quite the same level, but still a lot going on in here in the map here. So pretty cool. So that's some cool stuff there. I won't go through all the cities, but that's some of the highlights. You can see different strategies unfolding on each of the maps. So let's see what happens in the future, how that plays it out. Now, obviously, that's the map. Let's have a look at the families. We've looked at the family rankings at the moment. So the directorate's still at number one, holding number 1, 4, and 5 spots by worth. And we'll see what happens to the Vault Access in due course. So I wouldn't get too alarmed about that, especially some of these small families down the bottom here. They can keep dreaming, as we say. Dream on there. Delusion comes. Delusion comes. So anyway, let's have a quick look at some of the other things. I want to look at the exchange. So let's have a look at the people. So there's in-game cash, right, that you need to develop buildings and things like that. Well, that's got a market price, right? So let's have a look at the market price at the moment. 65 is the ratio. So if the ratio goes high, that means that the money is got a lower price, pretty much, right? All things equal, right? Now, obviously, it's priced in Mafia. So if Mafia goes up, we'll go up in US dollars. But a higher ratio basically means the in-game cash is not as valuable. If it goes down, so if it goes below 65 is the ratio at the moment, then it's going to be more valuable, right? So if you get someone selling it down here, for example, at 60, that's a lot more higher price. They're getting a better buck for their in-game currency there. They get more Mafia tokens. And you can see there's millions on sale at the moment all around this mid-60s, the 60s mark here. All these different players trying to sell their in-game currency for Mafia. And they're probably, most of them probably reinvesting it back into the game, right, through development, things like that. So they're all buying keys, lots of different strategies going on there. Now, that is pretty much it. You can see the chart itself ticking away there. It's got obviously the ratio and the US price together. And you can see that the ratio, it's moved around a bit there. Was up in, 68, 69, up 73, but it's come down here, 65. So actually, the price of in-game currency has actually increased on the ratio. But of course, Mafia price got sold off a little bit there as well, making it a bit cheaper to get into. I think it's at 1,300 now, 30 is 1,300. So a bit cheaper there. Kind of cool. What else? Convert. Obviously, people are converting assets over there too. So you can do that. Convert your in-game assets in for in-game cash. It's another way of doing it, and you could probably sell it on the withdrawal there. You got ODC trades. people trading assets directly. This person wants to sell a car. They want to get 3 game keys. That's dreaming. I don't know why they think that's a good trade. This person is they just started playing. I don't know. Are they trying it on? I don't know. So it's pretty silly. This one's got cash. They got $700,000 in-game cash after a key as well. And so yeah, that's no, was it 3,700? 7.5. That might be probably a little bit undervalued. It's probably a little bit not worth the key. Probably close, not too far there. What else? That is it on the marketplace ticking away. So people, this is a secondary market. People can buy land tiles on here. This is a secondary market, and so you can do that with people that have bought them already and trading them here. I know there's quite a bit of activity going there. You can check the history because that will show you what's been buying and selling. You can see there's a lot of land tiles as well as in-game assets as well, like bodyguards and armored cars and things like that. So lots of stuff happening there. And of course, the vault is getting bigger, baby, bigger. 6.98 billion pulse, 350,000 US dollars. If the price of pulse triples, that's $1 million. That's $1 million in the vault, huge. And you can see the contributions have really ratcheted up since the map's been out. The item crates have gone up, basically around $200,000 worth, and the land crates have gone up dramatically, up around $31,000 in there, that green line. So the game is ramping up. The game is ramping up. So that is pretty much it on that. I think that's what I was going to talk about. There's game wikis there if you want to check that out. And obviously BNB Mafia. Let's have a quick look at that. We don't want to, to the exclusion of BNB. We're going to have a quick look at this market over here. Let's look at the players. Well, actually, let's have a look at the overall. There's 998 players, so slightly less over on BNB. 22 crime families, so 3 families less. 221 BNB, and there's still tons of tiles. Remember, there's only 1,100 tiles on Pulsechain. Was 5,243 available over on BNB. So there has a couple thousand have been sold from the looks of it, but that is there's still lots over here. So lots of opportunity over on BNB Mafia. Let's look at the family rankings there. We've got the Syndicate number 1 again. So Syndicate number 1 on Pulsechain and BNB. We've got the Mugnows at number 2 there. We've got the OG Gangsters at number 3. We've got actually the OG Gangsters have fallen down there. That's pretty interesting. They were at number 2, weren't they? So we've had some movement there between the Mugnows and the OGs. That's very interesting development there. Might have a discussion about that later on. We've got the OG Escobars at number 4. So they've got 2 families there, haven't they? And the Black Thistles at number 5. And of course, that's another influencer on the BNB. So they're sitting at number 5, and we've got a couple of theirs below that. So let's jump over to the map and have a look at the status over there. So we got Las Vegas there. That's dominated by the OGs. And they were sitting at number 1 for quite a while, but of course the Syndicate there just waiting for its time, and they have still got 263 tiles left in their city, whereas the Syndicate, that's the Directorate, you guys know that's our family, they have sold out that, and they sold it out very quickly over in Chicago there. And of course the top developers at the moment is Ice Pick Willie, so big shout out to Ice Pick Willie and Bob Tillahan over there on Las Vegas. So pretty interesting. Let's have a quick look at that. We're going to look at that in a minute. We've got lots of tiles available in just about every other city. It does appear that the OGs are getting a little bit of tiles in Medellin. The Mugnows are getting tiles in Napoli there, 240, so that's going. Black Thistles in Bogota. So there is activity happening in the other cities. Looks like the Messinas are dominating in Messina. The Syndicate in New York. Palermo there, got the Untouchables making a move. Very early days there in Palermo, though. Miami, OG Gangsters, and so there's lots of opportunities in all these other cities at the moment. But let's have a quick look at the OG Gangsters. See, they've got the land. Let's see if they're doing anything with it. Let's have a look at that, because that's what we do. It's what we do on the BNB. Let's have a look there. All right, so there's a bit of a development going on. In fact, we can see. Let's go to offices. There's a couple offices there, so only a few offices, maybe 5. But let's have a look at apartments. So there's 3 apartments. Okay, not as much as I thought. So quite a few of the other must be what is it, HQs. Yeah, there's quite a few HQs in there, right? So that's they're sitting in there. Most of them will be empty, of course. What else we got there? Hotels. Okay, hotels. So that's a big strategy for this family. So hotels. Why would that be? Why would that be? Well, it's be now the yield's not in terms of cost. The yield is low, but if you actually have the hotels, you are earning some pretty good wicket for these hotels. Probably at the current price, probably around maybe $1,400, $1,500 income a year based on the in-game cash at the current prices. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So they've got quite a few in there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is the strategy there. It does look like a yield strategy, which is what Bob Tillahan always goes on about. I'm not sure who owns all of these, but that is, we've got different people in here, probably the same profiles, different profiles there. But yeah, Bob Tillahan there going for the yield. That's what he said he would do. So yeah, interesting strategy there. Pretty crazy. All right, let's go. So that's interesting. So very highlighting that. What else? Let's go over to the HQs. I just want to find out where their HQ is. Is that the HQ here? Not that one. No, they've got a lot of buildings here, but no one's owned that yet. Let's see here. And we've got the HQs there. The original Gangsters HQ there. Interesting map here today. All right, so let's jump over to the Chicago. Of course, that's where the directorate is. Long live the directorate. Pretty cool. I'm going to wrap up here because, don't want to go on too long here. I've got to cover a Shogun and everything else. So that is the map over for the directorate in Chicago. Looks like a lot of development happening on the map. Certainly not as big as on Pulsechain, but certainly development across the map there going on. So big shout out to the directorates there. All right, we're going to come back and have a look at BNB Mafia map, probably more on Monday next week, and have a bigger strategic look at this map. But that's pretty cool. The exchange at the moment, what's the prices? A lot higher. The price of in-game currency a lot higher over here, 21. But the volume is way lower. It's about 6,500 volume on Pulsechain, only $500, just under $500 here to take that. Even a higher price, but less volume traded at the moment. So lots of opportunities over on BNB Mafia. The vault, of course, sitting at 221, $157,000 there. Got some similar lifts up in the trends with this as well. 113,000 and 17,000 for the land crates. So a TikTok time to rock. So that's pretty much it for Mafia update. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to break it down more on another live show, but I will be on Cult DeFi on Monday, so we'll break that down from the syndicate's point of view. That's what we got. Bear Miller says Wookie is only going to build and develop a house, more bodies. Yeah. Like the cartel house at the beginning of Sicario, says yeah, that was pretty freaky, wasn't it? Pretty freaky stuff. All right, so let's move on. We're going to get into the next part of the show. We're still at 53 minutes, so we're doing really great on the time frame. Let's go to Titan X, because Titan X is on the green. So we had a bit of we had stock market green, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the majors are green. Pulsechain a little bit on a pullback, it's a minor pullback, it's not really much. And then of course we've got Titan X that's had a pretty cool experience. So we're going to watch that. Well, it wasn't too cool, but we'll have a look at that. It's certainly turning around now. So let's go there. Let's share the screen and look at Titan X, Shogun, Titan X, X28, Ominchain. That's the topics now. And of course, this is Titan X. Look at that. Woo! Hot dog at a dog. So, as you guys know, we had wave one here. It was pretty awesome. 10X on this wave. It was pretty cool. And how long did it last for? Well, pretty much lasted for 78 days, let's say 80 days around the world for a 10X on Titan X. That is the price. But then, of course, wave 2 came. This is Elliott waves. We're kind of using this Elliott wave idea. And that came. And then, of course, 80 days to go up 10X. It was 70 days to come down there. And we came down, how much? 75%. So a pretty serious correction there. But, of course, we've been in plenty of tokens out there with 99% corrections. Zen, Hex, and things like that. And so that's where it is. But it looks like it's landed to some degree in the support range. It did break the first support range, right? That was at 30, what do I have it at? 4,500. It did break that, but it didn't touch the next one, which was at 3,500, right? So didn't touch that. They had horizontal support, very weak horizontal support, but it didn't break that. We had got it tested quite strongly, though, in August, and it had kind of dipped down a few times. But it looks like it pretty much bounced from 30, just under 3,900, 3,900 there, and has had 4 days now a row where it's really going for gold. Now, what do you see in the chart that's most important? Well, you see the fact that it's finally got over that yellow line. That yellow line is the 21-day moving average, and it's busted past that today. It needs to close above that, right? So it needs to close, but that is a very strong little move there up to 61.50 on the Titan X. So very cool. Now we did have a big live stream with Jake Sharp and a lot of the developing team members earlier today on the X28. Sorry, what am I saying? Did I rechange the name? I got X28 Ominchain. Hopefully that's the right name because I've forgotten. I was pretty tired when I wrote the title. We got that at 61.51, and so good news there. So we're over the 21-day moving average, very bullish. So let's hide that, and let's add in the 13 and the 34. What we're looking for is a cross here of the pink line, the 13, over the 34, and hopefully that will signal a really strong move higher here. So especially if the green candles are above the 21-day and above the 34, we get a cross there. That's a very bullish move, and we can start heading up to the so-called third wave, right? And our third wave here is not based on just a willy-nilly number. It's based on a Fibonacci extension, so it has some degree of mathematics or patterns in it, and that is the target, right? 5 zeros, 2,700 almost. That is where we're dreaming of going to next. Now, the time frame, it's got a quite short time frame here. Don't know whether that's going to play out, whether it's going to be hyper bullish. Sometimes it is on the third wave. It's 40 days. So remember, we had 80 days to do a 10x on the upside. We had 70 days to do a 75% correction on wave 2, and 40 days to get up to a high price like that. Definitely doable. We shall see. We are in an environment of hyper deflation. It's deflating about 0.3% a day, sometimes more or less. And that is a pretty strong, deflation. That would suggest, 150 days or so, 5-6 months, and you could have a lot of the supply gone. Obviously, that doesn't happen in practice, but certainly we're in a heavy period of hyperinflation, and the chart may very well catch up with that, right? Plus, with all the roadmap of Ominchain and all the projects coming up. So that is kind of where we're at the moment. And so 40 days, that would take us into the beginning of the second week of February. So let's call it second week of February. Let's see if that does occur. And in case the time frame is always more difficult, but the range, the title of the range there, very doable, very doable. So keep a lookout for that. So far, we're heading up pretty nicely at the moment, but early days, but looking positive. Let's go to the rest of the charts. We've got some really good movement across the board here with the Titan X ecosystem. We've got stacks up 66% there. Ouroboros up 55. Some big moves here. This looks like altcoin season. Here. And of course, we've got Turbo up 53%. We've got Element 280 up 26%. Viper up 25%. Awesome X up 24%. Volt having a nice little rebound there, 22%. Alien X up 23% there as well. Flux up 21%. Hydra up 20%. So lots of good movements. Dragon X is up 20% there as well. So you can see they're all moving on the move there. Hyper up 18, Inferno up 18, and Shogun Titan X up 17% at 3,800. So of a penny. So some good movements happening there. X28 obviously is at 6,200. Titan X. So lots of good moves happening over there. And you can see only a few negative at the moment. X28 Shogun. But that's a little bit misleading because what's happening, Dex Screener is flipping the tokens. So that's been flipped around. We've had a little bit of issue with some of these, and you can see liquidity and things like that not showing up. So hopefully Dex Screener is going to work through that. They do tend to recorrect, like 24 hours later. But we have had a little bit of issue with that the last day or two. So that is where that is. Now, I just want to zoom in on Dragon X. Dragon X really is the gold standard here in the Titan X ecosystem, and we're going to show you why that is. Now, if you haven't joined our strategy club, the link's in the video description. Only $35 a month. We're constantly posting in intel and updates in there. Well worth joining that if you, particularly if you're busy. And the link's in the video description to join that. We often have chats, of course, in the Discord there too. All right, so we got 12.29 on the ratio. You can see the ratio bounced off this 9.1. This is pretty much, if you think about this like a range, it's pretty much a range between 15 and this 9.1, and it's been solid. It has been solid. Even when we've been on that big downtrend, on Titan X, look at a downtrend for 70 days. It was like a solid rock. Look at that thing. So this is absolutely amazing, which gives you a very good chance that we'll probably have another big rally here in the ratio as well as the price. And of course, we peaked out the ratio here with this God mode wick. Remember that God mode wick here? We got up to 27.32 on the ratio. So let's see where this ratio goes to in the future. A lot of whales have been shaken out, and at the same time, you can see some of those volumes in here as we've got rid of some whales. So this has got very diamond hand community with a big vision there from Eric there, the Dragon X founder. And on top of that, of course, is Brandon's come into the play for formerly Rags to Riches, and he's come in with this Morpheus, right? And Morpheus is here somewhere. Let's see here. Okay, it's up 9% today, so a bit cooler today. But the ratio is what we're going to look at versus Dragon X, right? So this is pretty interesting. The ratio of Morpheus. And where's this at the moment? It's 33.36. Now, a lot of people have got this big belief here that because of the uptrend, see there's sort of an uptrend there, that this is going to head towards parity. In other words, a 1-to-1 ratio with Dragon X. Man, imagine that with the price and with Dragon X going up against in the US prices, pretty crazy against Titan X. So some interesting things happening. Obviously, with the Switch Dex aggregator currently out on sort of like a beta mode, alpha mode, or whatever. Let's see, that could really scale up and take some market share as we go up there. So I'm looking forward to that. So those are some of the ones I wanted to point out. Obviously, we're getting a lot of stuff for Vault's coming up. Vault is going to have, obviously, it's Vault Dragon X. I want to get Vault something else. Vault Titan X. Vault is coming up. Obviously, a massive pullback after the huge rally and has bounced off 4,900 of a penny. Is now at 7,300. So that's making a nice little return. And of course, that's ahead of a thunder staking and the wheel coming up, right? So and that is very exciting for January. A very good development roadmap as long as everything's on target. Looks like the wheel is on target to come out as well as thunder staking there for Vault. So let's see where that all heads on that one. And obviously some of the related tokens like Viper and other things are doing pretty well also. What else are we going to talk about here? I think that was it. Let's go to Shogun. Shogun Titan X. So there are two main peers. In fact, we're going to go to the LP pools. The LP pools at the moment, 187,000. This is heading back up. You got to remember, 8% of this is going to pretty much feed the Shogun machine, feed the machine, as we say. Let's have a look at some of the liquidity. We've got $800,000 liquidity back in Shogun Titan X. This is beautiful, folks. This is really, really gorgeous. Heading back towards that $1 million mark. X28 Shogun, 619. We are getting some flipping here. Normally this is flipped around the other way. And of course we did have some volume sell-off. Now that volume sell-off over here is actually, this volume is actually good. Why? Because you got the taxes on it, right? The 8% tax, it feeds the machine. So you got this volatility actually accelerates in many ways the Shogun bullishness in terms of the burning and stuff like that. So very, very exciting to see where this goes. Now we're going to scroll back here to Shogun Titan X, and we can see the price is going up very, very nicely. Bottomed out at 200th of a penny, is now almost at 400th of a penny, so almost a 2x there. And if we flip it to the Titan X ratio here on Shogun, we can see that the ratio is also climbing 5,400, almost up to 6,300 here, and got to 6,500. So heading in the right direction is the ratio there, Shogun. Let's go to the website and have a quick look at the metrics at the moment. Oh, wow, look at this. This is early. We don't normally have it this early. We've got 5 hours to go, and the ratio is down to 30%. That's not normal. We normally have about 80%, and it takes a lot longer to get. We have to get closer to the end of the day for that to go down. 166 billion X28 in there, so very bullish there. Maybe on the back of that live stream earlier. Let's go to stats. Stats are pretty interesting. Let's talk about stats, baby. And of course, I've got a snapshot from the end of yesterday. So we've got liquid at the yesterday was 1674. We're now at 1686. So that's up, and that's fine. That's going to be volatile for that for a while. That will eventually start going down. Liquidity there is pretty similar yesterday, 318. War chest was 389. That's after the auction gets sets up. It comes out of this money, this amount of Shogun. We've got 399 in there, so that's filling back up. By the time we get to the 5 hours time, this will be over 400 again. Now the buy and burn, this is the one we really care about. The buy and burn yesterday at the close of auction was 262 million. It is now 265.8, so it's almost up at 4 million with 5 hours to go. So it's tracking up towards 5 million. Probably get to about 4.5 million by the time we finish the day. That's pretty normal what we've been getting. And the war tax there was 49,150, now 49.7. So that's about just about 550 there. So we're tracking at the moment for about 5 million burn a day. What does that mean? What's 5 million burn a day mean? Remember, the liquid supply is 1686. So we're burning 5 million. What does that mean, though, in terms of the amount of burning going on? Let's have a look at the blockchain, and let's see what that tells us. We've got 1,366 holders, and we look at the holder class here, we can see that we've got these larger holders, right? Anything over 1% is technically a whale, right? We've got a few whale accounts. We've got some system accounts, right? This is the LP wallet, the 74. Does some very magical things in Shogun, the old LP wallet. Very cool. And of course, we've got these sharks. So we've got big sharks in here. But what I want to do is, if we're burning 5 million a day, let's have a look at that. What's 5 million? So 5 million a day. Let's see here, 5 million. 5 million. That's that's $19,300 a day approximately. We're burning somewhere in that. It's plus or minus, but that would end up being 5 million. So that's not page one. Page one is 667. But we're burning pretty much one of these large or medium-sized sharks every day. So you can see that's a wallet number 57. So we're burning one of those a day away. So one of them, you can just cross them all off one day after another. We're burning those away. So pretty exciting where this is heading on that. And of course, with TitanX back on the rebound, as you can see there, we just closed the day off on TitanX, and we closed at a pretty good price. So the close was 61.48. Let's see if we can get another green candle in a row. Man, getting over 7,000, very bullish. That's the mark I'm looking for, that horizontal on TitanX. They're very bullish. And of course, everything else probably continue to rally there. So some exciting things happening on Shogun. And of course, we've got lots of cool things coming up in the future. The big thing, of course, before the end of January, we've got the big lending protocol coming, USDX on Ouroboros. That's going to be huge. And then, of course, we've got lots of other protocols coming up as well. The wheel is expected soon, probably within the next week, I think. I haven't seen the latest update, but got to be pretty soon. That's coming up there. What else is looking interesting? Very bullish on some of these projects. Taurus, Mizuchi, Ascendant, those are all looking very cool. The mystery project potentially coming there from DragonX founder, I think, as well. So lots of cool things coming in the future. And of course, the big thing, the X28 Ominchain. There was a big live stream today from Jake Sharp, and talking about going to base chain and just how that approach is going to be set up. So a very cool video, quite a long video there, 3 hours and 10 minutes, but definitely something to think about there. I'm going to repost that. Now, if you want to watch that, I'll post the link into that. Probably good to do. So some very cool things happening there. Now, obviously, there's a certain approach when you go to another chain. You're going to be using the X28. Remember, X28 and TitanX are basically one-to-one. They're the same. And there's only going to be one supply. It's not like you're duplicating a TitanX X28 supply on each chain. You just got the same chain, same volume on Ethereum. So as soon as you take some of that volume off onto other chains, it's like a supply sink. It's like it's staked or burned in essence, because it goes to another chain. It can come back, but generally it's going to start building its presence on another chain. So it's going to make the supply of TitanX and X28 particularly scarce. Now, obviously, one of the big things about X28 is there's not a lot of supply there. And we've got these second layer protocols going to be building on it. I think Stacks and others are some of these things coming up. And Mizuchi, I think, is one of those. It's going to be very scarce here. You can see at the moment something bizarre is happening, something cunning, something magical. And of course, Jake Sharp there, only 1.86% of X28 is liquid. So we talk about these other projects. Inferno is a good example. Or was it must be around 60% burned or something. So we've got 58%, 60%, somewhere in there. We've got projects with high burns like that. But here we are. We've got X28 with 98.14 burned. It's off the market in some form, either burned, 36.9% burned. BOTX28 burned 20.75, and then you got these protocols. So they're either burned or sunk. And here we go. We've got the liquid only down at 1.86%. It moves around with the end of day of Shogun, but apart from that, it's unbelievable. So something magical is potentially going to happen here. And of course, that's going Ominchain to base, as I understand it, first. So pretty exciting where that's going to head. So I'll post that video there, Ominchain, and you can watch that and try and get some of the golden nuggets out there, particularly at the beginning, I think, is some of those. So that is pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for the show, I think. That is some of the highlights there. Let's jump over to any more comments. We've got Utah Crypto in there, one of the developers, of course, in the Titan-X community. Big shout out to you. And, of course, X28 too, no doubt, X28. We've got dragons and Wookiees are the most dangerous creatures in demand. Yeah, that's true. Wookiees particularly high on the dangerous list. Most wanted. All right, so we're going to wrap up there. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. We covered a lot of stuff, but it's pretty exciting. The markets, this is really fun to be in, and we're really looking at altcoin season. It really is upon us. January looking very good. I hope you guys enjoy your day. I'll catch you guys later. I will be in Discord, and the links in the video description, and in Telegram. I'll chat with you there. And I'll catch you again on Monday. And like I say, I will be on Cult DeFi show for Mafia, covering the directorate. So we'll get into lots of stuff there. All right, take care. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Big shout out once again to Brian, 35 months membership, and our community leader. Absolutely amazing. Big shout out to you. Enjoy yourself, and I'll take care. I'll talk to you guys in Discord. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Over 10,500 subscribers. I do appreciate you all. And of course, if you're watching from any of the YouTube channels, subscribe, hit the bell for future videos. We're just doing crypto, man. No drama, freedom, and of course, family channel. That's a good place to be. All right, take care. Bye for now. Woohoo! Rock on. Rock on.